Narelle here from Simply Narelle, and welcome to my channel about cross stitching. And I thought it was time to come on and do an update to show you what I've been doing in May. I decided to do Maynia Madness, whatever you call it, and I decided to do 31 new starts in May because there's 31 days in May, so hence Madness Mania. In the Whip Warriors group, we've got a little event for May, and you had to set a smart goal. So I said within May I'll do 31 new starts for the same amount of days there is in the month, and I'll commit to doing 200 stitches per new start. So I'm going along quite well until, I don't know, 2-3 days ago, and my mojo just went fluttering away and it hasn't come back. So I've got, I don't know, maybe 13 new starts, but I really want to stick to the 31, so we'll see how we go. So anyway, today I thought I'd come on and show you what I have actually started so far in May. They are in no particular order, I don't think. If you're in the Whip Warriors group and in the event, you can find my feed and have a look at the order. I sort of did them in the order that I listed them back in April, but some of them I didn't. I pulled out of order. But anyway, let's get on to it. So, first one I'm going to show you, and try not to show the chart. Wait a minute. Let me pull this out, and this out, and this out, and put that over there so you can't see the chart. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is Spring Tulips by Stitching with the Housewives. This is my first Stitching with the Housewives. I've always seen their charts and gone, well, I sort of like them. They're cute. I just realised I've still got the chart showing. They're sort of cute. Yeah, they're okay. And then I had a gift card to, what was it? Fat Quarter Shop, I think. And I didn't want to have to pay postage because then I'd be using most of my gift card for postage. So I bought a lot of PDFs, and they've got a huge collection of Stitching with the Housewives charts. So I purchased a heap of them and thought I'll give them a go. And I tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. I really like how this one's stitching up. So I'm doing this on Black Ada. Is it going to tell me? 16 count Black Ada that I just had from somewhere. And this is really cute. And that is how much I've got done. Just part of the chicken coop. So, bearing in mind, these are all a minimum of 200 stitches, but I can't tell you exactly how many there was. If I go back through my Whip Warriors road trip and all the posts for that challenge, I'd be able to tell you the stitch count, but I'm too lazy to do that, so you'll just have to live with not knowing. But that's the chart. So I've done not all of the little barn. I've done the little chicken on top, so that's as high as it goes. And then most of the barn, I've got to fill in the flowers here and a little bit in there and the door. And then start the huge tulips around the side and the fence, and then chickens down here. So I'm hoping, I've got sort of 3 others that are similar that'll work with this design. So I'm hoping I can fit them all on this one piece of fabric and then make it into like a little spring sort of theme. Either that, or I'm going to cut them out individually and make them into cushions. I'm not quite sure. Little pillows. I'm not quite sure yet, because I do have a little tiered tray that I got from IKEA. So I'd really like to have some little patterns and little pillows and stuff to put in that and change it seasonally. We'll see what happens. It'll be years till they're finished anyway. Okay, next. Winter Queen. So these are all new starts. And that is Winter Queen by Mirabilia. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count. Does this tell you? Belfast linen. 32 count Belfast linen in the colour. I don't know if it tells me. Don't think it's going to tell me. Not that I can see anyway. It was just a pre-cut. I think I got a heap of them It's opalescent, I know that, because it's all nice and sparkly. And this is what I've got done. Sorry, I fold my work inside out so that I don't accidentally pull the stitches from the front and the fabric doesn't get dirty. So I'm sorry, you'll have to put up with me folding them so that you can see the stitching. So that is what I've got done. You really can't see a lot of it. It is white. That's all white. And that's the mauvey blue colour. And I started from the middle. So I'm sort of like here, I think, somewhere. Can I try and work it out? I have no idea. No idea. I think that's the right way around. I usually put my needle minder top left so that I know which way I'm looking at it. And that'll be fun. I'd have to look at the pattern to know if that's around the right way. And you probably can't see these stitches because they are white on white. This is a white opalescent. And when I started stitching them, I thought, that's a problem, white on white. But when I looked at the pattern, the white actually is always got another colour around it, so it will stand out. And even here on the edges, I'm sorry if there's a glare there, I'll try and put it straight. Here on the edges as well, all around here, there's a little bit of grey, so it stands out from the white. And I thought, well, if when I've finished it doesn't stand out enough, then I can go in and do a single strand of a grey back stitch so that it stands out a bit. I know there's no back stitch on these charts, or normally there's not, and there's probably not on this one, but I will add it if the white blends into the fabric too much. But at the moment, all I can see it is it's surrounded by other colours, so it should stand out enough. So that is Winter Queen, sorry, by Mirabilia. But tell you what, the opalescent, some I find is easy to stitch on, and some is not. I'm doing Biancabella, another Mirabilia piece, and that's on opalescent, but it's a mint green opalescent, and I'm finding that easier to stitch with than this white. And I know I shouldn't tell you, but I will, that some of those stitches on the white are out, and I haven't noticed until I've gone down a leg, or a couple of rows, sorry, and I've accidentally gone across 3 strands instead of just 2, and then I've sort of, other places I've just gone across 1, so they're not the neatest of stitches, but I'm not pulling it out. As long as my edges of that block that I'm doing matches up, then I'm sweet with it, you know. Alright, so what have we got? Next one, Dreaming of Daffodils. This is a Rosewood Manor. I'm a huge Rosewood Manor fan, so that is Dreaming of Daffodils. Not a fan of this picture. I think the fabric's too dark. That's just my opinion. And this is where I've got with it. I'll tell you in a minute what I'm doing this on. I do always forget to mention fabric, so I'm trying harder. And that is so pretty. Look at that. I love that. It's gorgeous. I don't know what it's stitched on. I don't even have it written down anywhere. I have no idea. It's a mystery piece of linen. I don't know. I don't have it. Wait. Oh, I've got my floss drops, but I don't have what fabric it is. Sorry. It's a 32 count, I think, linen of some sort. I don't even think it's written on anywhere what count it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a 32 count beigey coloured linen, a lot lighter in colour than the model picture. But what surprised me in this one is the colours. Like, if you look at these colours, they don't look bright and vibrant like the greens do and the white does. The rest of it looks, to me, quite muted. But when you stitch it up, it's really, really beautiful. And I'm pretty sure it's all DMC, called for DMC, and they're the colours that I'm using. But look at the colour of this green. That is just vibrant. So these are the colours so far. So I didn't pull all the colours out and put them on floss drops. It's as I come across a cold colour, I will grab a floss drop and grab one length of the thread and put it on the floss drop. But they're the colours. Aren't they just stunning? So summer, spring, vibrant, just really, really pretty. I really enjoyed this one and I struggled to put it away. But I went, no, I've got to get on to the next one. And I was doing one a night, so starting one a night. And then, you know, I'd put that away at the end of the night. And then the next day I'd get the next one out and kept going like that. Until, like I said, about 3 nights ago, and suddenly I just went, oh, I don't feel like stitching. I sat in front of the cross stitch I'd put in the Q-snap, put it on the Lowry frame, and then I just sat there watching TV, and then like an hour later I went, oh, okay, I'll put some work into it, and maybe did 50 stitches and went, oh, have I reached the 200 yet? Oh, and then I just went, no, that's enough for tonight, I'll go watch TV. And then the next night I did the same thing, and I must have sat there for hours and put like 50 stitches in. And then finally, on the third night, I went, okay, I have to at least get up to 200. I can do this. But it was a struggle, I tell you. And I don't know whether it was the piece that I'm working on, that piece that I was working on, or whether it was the fabric. I don't know if I've fallen out of love with that piece, but I will show you when I get to it. But tonight, I'm going to start something new. I did put something on the frame last night, and then I was just really tired and went, no, I can't, and walked away. Tonight, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back to it, and that will tell me whether my mojo's gone, I just over cross stitch at the moment and need a break, or whether it was actually that piece that I was trying to stitch. Alright, so the next one we have is Celtic Summer, or Celtic Summer, I don't know how you say it. I say Celtic Summer. This is from Lavender and Lace, 2003. So that is what it looks like. And this one, I'm pretty sure it's all DMC as well. There are a few specialty threads in it. This one, it really surprised me, the colours of it. I wasn't expecting the colours that were chosen. Well, that was called for. So this is a green Ada. This is possibly a Paddock Lane Designs. It is 18 count. By the look of it, 18 count green Ada. I think it was called Granny Apple Green or something. She had it on a sale or something, a live sale, and I picked it up there quite cheap. So I went, I'll find something to put on it. And I looked at this and went, summer. She looks like nice greens and stuff that'll go on this. And then I was really surprised. Look at these colours. Like there are, I know there was like 500, 501. They're just different to what looks on the picture. So I know I'm doing this bit here, which is quite dark. So maybe when I get to this bit, it'll sit nicer with the fabric. I don't know. But anyway, that's how far I've got. That is, I'm doing this bit actually, because that's that starting, is it the starting of this or starting, it's the starting of this, I think, of this frame here. So that is from the top of her sleeve down to that frame there, the start of that frame. That's how much I got done. So this piece I always thought was much bigger, but I don't think it's going to be as big as I think. Like, I know that's only a small piece, but that's like a quarter of the whole height. So it's not going to be as big as I thought. But anyway, so that is Celtic Summer. I'm really happy I've started that. I've wanted to do all those Celtic ladies for so long. And I wanted to buy them for so long. And I didn't actually get the patterns until maybe 2 years ago. A lady was selling them all together on a D-stash group. And I went, yes, okay, thank you. I'll have the whole 4 of them. Because when I see a series I want and I buy it, it's like I've got to have the whole series. I can't just get one and then go, I'll get the rest later. It's like, no. If I want the series, I've got to get them all now. But saying that, I have this time around with the, is it Cottage Garden Samplings, the houses. I so want that series, but I haven't jumped and bought it yet. I'm trying not to buy. Except I do have haul, so, you know, maybe that not buying thing is starting to wear off. Alright, next one. So She Did. This is a Holt PDF. This one I got from the Fat Quarter Shop when I had that card to spend. It's a PDF. So She Did by Holt. This is just on a piece of pink Ada. I believe it looks like it's a 14 count. It's quite big. And this one I really liked stitching. So that's what I did for that one. I think it's because it's quite easy. There's not a lot of changing colours. So I managed to get quite a bit of this done. It was getting really late. It was like getting up to 2 a.m. I went, okay, I probably need to go to bed. But yeah, I've got a lot of that one done. So I was really happy with that progress. This is going to go up where my sewing machine is, to keep me inspired to keep sewing. So yeah, really like that one. And the colours, wasn't sure how it would go on the pink fabric, but there's no overly pink bit except for the W, which again, if that blends into the fabric too much, I will just backstitch around these letters so they stand out anyway, and it makes it look like part of the design. We shall see. And I've decided what I'm doing next year. I think in my last video I mentioned that, or a video before, I was a bit done with challenges. But I think it's because I'm trying to do challenges as well as Whip Go, and I can't get them all to gel. I can't give them all equal time. So I am going to, I've decided I'm not going to do Whip Go next year. I'm just going to do whatever challenges call to me. So it'll be, if I see a challenge and I like a prompt or two in it, I'll just do it. But I'm also next year going to focus on finishes. I have now, once I do all these 31 new starts, I will have nearly 100 whips, or over 100 whips. So I need to get some of them finished, because I'm also trying to do 60 finishes before I turn 60 in year after next. So I've got a lot of finishing I need to do if I want to reach that goal. So we'll see what happens. So I'm not saying I won't do new starts next year, but I will be focusing on finishes. So when I come to do a challenge, I'll look at my pieces that are closest to a finish and fit them in as often as I can with challenges to get more work on them and hopefully get them done. That's the plan. So it's been in my mind now for quite a few months, percolating away. So I think I'm pretty set on it. We'll see. All right, next one. Old Friends. I think this is an Old Dimensions. Here we go. No, yes, Old Dimensions. Old Friends. These gorgeous little teddy bears. You know, I'll stitch on anything really. The latest chart out, an old one from the 60s, 70s, whatever. Doesn't matter. If I've got it in my stash and I still like it to a certain extent, I'll stitch it. Okay, so this one, this is a wide piece. I'm doing this on 18 count Ada Vintage Country Mocha, my old standby. And here's what I've got done. It's just a little rat. I don't know if you can see him in the middle, the little bunny. So here, it's this little bunny here. I've done most of his ears and his little face. And he looks a lot more beige in there than in real life. I'm using the Callboard DMCs. But you probably can't see him much. I'll try and hold it up and see if that is any better. But yeah, he's a cute little rabbit bunny face. So that's how much I got. And there's quite a lot of stitches there. Like, I don't know the stitch count exactly. But when I was doing these, when I started all this, I was trying to get to like 500 odd stitches a night. I do more than the 200 I was aiming for. I just keep going and putting a night's worth of work into it. So again, I don't know how many are in there, but yeah. So also with the challenges, I'll have a lot of whips to choose from. So there should be lots of prompts that I should be able to meet. And I'm not saying I'm not going to do new starts, because if I'm doing a challenge like a categories or whatever, and I've got whips for 8 of the 10 prompts, then I will not put it past me starting something new to meet the other 2 prompts. You know? All good. Okay, here we have another Mirabilia. I didn't do Mirabilia May, but I have a lot of Mirabilias and I want to start them all. So that's why there's a few. So what did I say this one? Snow Queen. And again, I've got it on a fabric that may blend, but I'm hoping that there's enough around it that it will actually stand out. So here we go. Now, I've done, I think it's this cape. No, it's this down here that I'm doing. I started in the middle. So I've done that section there, which does blend into the fabric, but it doesn't have the fabric next to it. Either side it's going to have other stitching, so it will stand out when it's done. Those little spots you can see in there, they're actually beads, so they haven't been done. And I've done this bit towards heading down here. I'm not all the way down to there yet. There's quite a lot of stitches. There's over 1,000, 2,000 stitches, something like that in there. And because Mirabilia always calls for Karen water lilies as their fancy floss, I don't have any Karen water lilies, and I'm not going to go out and buy any. So I'm substituting cottage garden threads as often as I can when they call for, any chart calls for variegated threads. I do have a lot of cottage garden threads from when I used to sell them, and I have found they're not economical viably to sell on Etsy, and I closed my website down. So I've only got Etsy now as my main store, and they're not, because of Etsy's fees, they're not viable to sell on Etsy. So I have a big stash of cottage garden threads, so why not use them? So this is one called Romarin, and I'm using that to substitute this down here. Now I know there's purples and stuff in here, but it doesn't have to be the same as the chart, and I'm really liking how this is blending and how it's going, like matching this blue. Really, really liking it. So that is the Romarin from Cottage Garden Threads. It's just blue and a moss green, and I think it's working wonderfully. I really, really like it. Now when it comes to this one here, this variegated, I'm going to have to be careful what I choose. That will still blend in with this one and work. May not be purples, it may be something else, but who says you've got to do what the chart calls for? And I know there's probably Mirabilia purists out there that are scratching their head and gasping and all the rest of it, but you know, my stitching, do what I want. And I actually really like I said, I really like that, how that's coming out. So there's another one. I don't know, is anyone counting? I think there was 13 or something. Another one. In a Christmas bag. Songs of the season. So it must be a Christmas one. Yes, it is my first ever Prairie Schooler. Songs of the season. So there's 6 little charts here. Sorry, that are all about Christmas songs. Joy to the World, Jolly Old St. Nicholas, Deck the Halls, Peace on Earth, Goodwill to Men, Oh Come All You Faithful, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Really, well, this chart in the back, but not do that. Really, really like these. Had these for a while, and they've always intimidated me, but not anymore. Now, I don't even know what this is on. It is a linen, and I don't know what count, what colour. Obviously white. Duh, it's white. It's a small one. I don't know. It could be 32. I'm not sure. I can't really tell unless it tells me what it is. Anyway, so there we go. I asked my daughter which one I should start on, and she said that one of Santa Claus going down the chimney, Jolly Old St. Nicholas, and this is where I am up to. Pretty sure, let me just check that they are DMC called for. Yes, they're all DMCs. So that is where I am. They're muted prim, I get that's what you call them, isn't it? Prim type colours. Very nice. This was a fun stitch as well. Easy to do while you're watching TV because it's just like pretty straight. So that is where that one is. And yes, that is an original chart. The hard cardboard books that apparently they don't do anymore. They're doing them on like a thicker plain paper, print them on, which is all very well, but they're not as sturdy. And because they're not a proper cardboard book, I don't care if I write on the original or I fold it or whatever. So I'm actually marking this chart. And one thing I have found, when I go to make working copies of things, I actually don't do it much anymore. Actually, I know it's going to shock a lot of people. Sorry, but I mark on the original. The Mirabilias, I fold it over and over and over and then colour it in with lead pencil what I've done. I know. I will probably never sell my Mirabilia patterns. I'll probably donate them to an op shop. Because I also get frustrated with the colour chart grid thing, legend, being on the back or somewhere once you fold it you can't see it. So I usually cut, are you ready? Are you ready? I cut them off. So I have just the chart and then on a separate piece I've cut off the legend. And one thing I found, where this was going after I shocked everyone, is that when I go to photocopy things to make a working copy, these are all printed for the US market, which I don't know why, because people globally, I'm sorry if you're in the US and I'm about to offend you, but the US, as far as I know, is the only country that uses letter size paper. Everywhere else uses A4 size paper. All the charts and booklets are printed in letter size. So when you go to copy them, you invariably chop off some of the chart because our paper is skinnier. Someone tell me why all of the charts are printed in letter size paper when there's only one country in the world that uses it. I don't get it. Like, I know they're printed in the US, but you would think that, well, the rest of the world uses A4. Maybe we should also make A4 versions because that would make it a whole lot easier. So I don't make working copies anymore unless I can really avoid it. The Mirabilias, no, not the Mirabilias, Rosewood Manor booklets have quite a big margin, so I can normally do them. But yeah, and they're big in that I can't, because they're cardboard, I can't fold them, so I have to fiddle around and copy those. But anything else that I have, like the lavender laces or the Mirabilias, anything that I can fold easily to mark off, I will. Anyway, okay, next, Nightingale. Hey, guess what? It's another Mirabilia. This was one, if you remember, in Etsy, there's a seller who's selling illegal PDFs, and I had, rather than like the chart on Etsy, to then email Hoffman's, who are the distributors or the printers of the Mirabilias now, rather than like it and then go back and email them with the links to the patterns, or to the, what am I trying to say, email them the link to the listings. What I was doing, instead of liking them, because then that promotes that seller who's doing the wrong thing, I add them to my cart, and then, you know, when I've found a few and they're in my cart, I then go from my cart back to the listing and then email the Hoffman's the link. Hey, these are illegal copies. Can you do something about it? And I had put a few in my cart and forgot they were there, and I hadn't emailed Hoffman yet, and I needed something for my business. I think it was the wooden tags for my bags, And I put them in my cart and checked out and didn't realise that I was checking out my whole cart and not just my little wooden tags. So I inadvertently bought these illegal PDFs. I was fuming. Anyway, so I needed to make right because I'd done something stupid and bought the original, which I have now, Nightingale, the original. And I started it. So yeah, never do that. Never put things in your cart in Etsy unless you're going to purchase them straight away, because it's so easy to lose track of what is in there. And if you're doing it quickly and you don't notice that, or you're also buying other stuff, yeah, that's a problem. I actually had that lady do that to me once. She bought something and then, I don't know what it was. Oh, she was in the US and she bought something that was like $5 or something, and she was paying like $26 postage. And I messaged her. I said, did you really mean to buy this because you are spending like 4 times the amount on postage than what the item is worth? And then she comes back and she goes, oh no, sorry, I forgot that was in my cart and I didn't mean to purchase it. And I went, okay, no worries. I cancelled the order. So it's easy to do. Alright, so here we are, Nightingale. And I'm doing this on a piece of fabric from Paddock Lane Designs. It's from the Fabric of the Month Club in December last year, and it's called Christmas, and it is green and pink. So it's green down the bottom, pink at the top. Interesting look. I wasn't sure what I was going to put on it, but I sort of thought, well, Nightingale will work because it is like, where my mind is going is that she is going to see patients and it's dusk, like it's just sun starting to set, and you get that beautiful hue sometimes in the night sky because she's got a little lantern. So that is how I'm making this fabric work with this pattern, and that is what I've got done so far. So I am in, I think here, this little bit here. So we've got those blue 3 little blue circles there, and then we're coming into that. I've done that bit there. And then next is these little blue flowers which are there. Yeah, so really liking this one. And remains to be seen what it looks like on the fabric. But I'm thinking it might be okay. We'll see. You know, each their own. So that is where I am with Nightingale. And this is an opalescent too. So it's a 32 count opalescent. Pretty pretty. When I opened that and I went, what on earth am I doing with this? And then went, because I'm really a, what do you call it? Probably a traditional stitcher when it comes to my fabrics. I don't like a lot of heavy mottling and stuff like that. But as I use more of it, then I'm sort of coming around to that idea. So there's nothing wrong with that Christmas fabric, don't get me wrong. It's just that I need to think outside what I'm used to using to use things like that. Alright, here we go. Another one, Dimensions, So Cozy. This was a leftovers from a kit a lady was selling on a D-Stash group. It's called So Cozy. It didn't come with anything but the picture and the pattern. So none of the beads, none of the buttons, none of the floss. But that's okay. I'm sure I can find heart buttons somewhere and scissor charms, and I think there's 3 scissor charms I saw in this, and a giraffe and a something going to Noah's Ark. So that's why they're there. I'm sure I can find some charms somewhere. I didn't serge this one. I didn't have, couldn't bother getting up to do that. But this is on a piece of, should I keep it? Thought I did. Here we go. It's a 32 count Belfast linen, and it looks like it's just white. 101, that's white. And that is what I've got done. Just a little chest of drawers in the middle. But they are fully done. I've even backstitched it. So they are fully done. And that was fun. Like, that felt like an achievement. It's like, yes, I have finished something. Yeah, this is really pretty. Like, when I first glanced at it, I went, it's like, I don't know. And then because I had the sewing machine, I went, yeah, okay, I'll get it. Because, you know, I love sewing, and it's an ode to my mum who loves sewing. So, and now I do sewing as my business. So I guess, you know, some of her genes passed down. And then the more I looked at it, because it looked very 90s, like that whole era when they did that, what's the cottage painting stuff. It reminded me of that era. But then I looked closely and went, well, it's actually really nice. I like all the little elements in it. The quilts. I love the quilts. I quilt. Well, I try to quilt. I sew. It's just, yeah. So now I really like it, and I can't wait to do more because it's going to be really pretty. And again, that will go in my sewing area as well. So I did quite a bit on that one. I think I might have worked on that for 2 nights actually, because I wanted to get those chest of drawers done. Oh, and I really need to overlap the edge of that. That's going to get caught in my zipper. Let me just turn that around in there so it doesn't get, threads don't get caught. Oh, come on. There we go. Right. Next. Only a few more to go. Alright, this one. This is a Rosewood Manor one. Called Dogwood Lace. Now this one's been charted as a monochromatic, so the one colour. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use, like I said, my stash of Cottage Garden threads. So I have pulled out a heap of Cottage Garden threads. Well, not a heap, there's 5. Is there 5? Okay. So we've got Peach Melba, Bart, Hatchling, Buttercup, Dark Hue. There's more in here I haven't pulled actually. Alright, so we've got Coral Cove, which hasn't been called yet. What else? Buttercup I've got, Peach Melba I've got, Dark Hue is out, Bart is out, Hatchling is out. Yeah, that's the only one that hasn't been called so far. And I think I've just got that one for the initials that are here, C and the B there, which will be N, F. Yeah. So I thought I would try using up some of these, and I've got my little guide as to what colours I'm doing where. So I'm doing all the outline piece in Hatchling, no, in Bart. The details within the border are going to be in Hatchling. The flowers are going to be in Peach Melba, and then the little berries are going to be in Buttercup. The leaves and the stems are all in Dark Hue, and then my initials in Coral Cove. So, and this is being done on, I've really lost the thing now. Wait a minute, in there it is, right down the bottom. Okay, it's a 28 count, that's all it's telling me. Okay, a 28 count of something, I don't know. It's a linen, a variegated linen from somewhere, I don't know. Oops, that's the wrong side. Okay, so I started in the top left corner, and that is what I have done so far. Right, now, I'm not going to say it, but can anyone see, oh, I've got pencil on there, hopefully that'll be covered. Can anyone see 2 particular symbols in here? I'm not going to say what they are. I don't want to get chucked off YouTube, but can you see what they are? My husband walked past. I didn't have any of this in. I just had the border, I was stitching the border, and he goes, oh dear. I went, what? He goes, what are you stitching? And then I looked and I went, oh dear. yes, okay, so moving right along. That's the full design, and I didn't see it when I was stitching this, but now that's all I see. So I'm hoping when I get it all stitched and all the different colours in, those particular pieces won't be as prominent. And if they are, then it'll just be a good laughing point. I'm sorry, Karen, but of Rosewood Manor, but I can't see past it now, and I'm sure everyone else is going to notice it as well. I'm not going to say what it is. Use your imagination, but that is what I've done so far. So I worked on this one a few nights, I think, because I wanted to see some of these different colours come in and see what they're going to look like. I'm not so sure about the flowers. I have to be really careful how I stitch them to get them, I guess, each petal looking the same. So these three are pretty much the same, but this one I must have stitched differently because the darker pink and the little bit of red are in a different place to these three petals. So I do have to be mindful when I'm stitching these petals. I think what I did is I went across the whole thing rather than doing a petal at a time. I went across the whole thing, and that changed where the variegation is going to lie. So I do need to watch that. But other than that, I'm really liking it. I like the colours. I think it's going to be not bright, muted, but colourful, if that makes sense. So there you go. Dogwood Lace by Rosewood Manor with my Cottage Garden Threads conversion. Sorry, I'll put everything away or I'm going to lose stuff and then I'll be frustrated when I want to stitch it again. But I'm liking the Cottage Garden Threads. They are so easy to stitch with. I don't get tangles, I don't get knots. I am a two-handed stitcher anyway, so I think that reduces as well the amount of knots and tangles that you get, but they do still occasionally happen. But the Cottage Garden Threads are really nice threads. My only thing is that they're cut a little bit too short. I would have liked a longer length. Alright, next we have Anzac. Right, so this one, the second last one, this is the one that I stalled on. Okay, here's the bright green fabric that it's on, and I don't know whether it's the fabric that's the issue or whether it's the design that's the issue, whether I have fallen out of love with it. So it's by Long Dog Samplers, Anzac. Right, now I've been iffy on this one, I will admit, for a while, for a few years. I've had it a while, and I don't know whether finally I've fallen out of love with it, but I still want to do it because it's got lots of Australian stuff in it, and there's not many Australian charts or Australian related things out there, so I do want to do it. But I don't know whether just at the moment I'm not feeling it. I don't know, but this is the one that it took me 3 nights to a lousy 211 stitches. So yeah, this is where I am. Sorry, I'm getting in a mess here. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to take a shortcut folding the material and it's just not working. Here we go. So that's where I've got to. That's the top left corner. And the other thing is it's 18 count, obviously dyed Ada, and I don't know whether the holes are smaller, it's shrunk in the dyeing process, but I was struggling to see the holes. And I'm also using Cottage Garden Threads Felix on this, which is not as variegated as I first thought it was. So it's just looking black, and I thought I was going to get a bit more variegation in it. This is all the Felix that I've got, and I'm hoping, I mean, they're all bought at the same time, so they should all be from the same dye lot. And I'm hoping this is enough to do the whole thing, otherwise it may look a bit strange. But I always, I don't know, in my mind I thought Felix was a lot more variegated than that, but this is just black. And I don't know whether it is stitching up differently on this fabric. I don't know, what am I trying to say? I was struggling to find the holes in this second leg here. I was really struggling to see where I was stitching. Now I know I was tired, but I have magnifying goggles and I have bright light when I stitch, and I don't have a problem with anything else. But I don't know whether it is this thread on this green or this thread on this fabric, but I was really struggling, and I think that's why I let it sit for 3 nights. Like, it took me 3 nights to get 211 stitches. That's ridiculous. I can do 211 stitches in under 2 hours normally, so why was it taking me 3 nights? And that's where I don't know what the problem is. I don't know whether to unpick this and just use DMC black, or to use one strand of Felix. Now, I might not like the coverage. I don't know where I'm going with this one. So I'm putting it away. And it's probably not going to come out again until next year. And then I'll probably make a decision. I just don't know with this one. Whether it's the pattern, the fabric, floss, the combination of all 3. I don't know. But yeah, that's... And I haven't stitched since I put this away. So I sat on this one for 3 nights, and then I haven't stitched for the last 3 nights. So that is why I don't have, what are we, the 16th? That's why I don't have 16 started. And I've got to try and catch up if I want to reach my 31. So anyway, that is where that is. But I also have got back into my scrapbooking, which is, you know, of a night, it's like, do I want to cross stitch? Do I want to scrapbook? I don't know. Can't do it all, I guess. Right, this is the last one that I had last night, slated to start, that I didn't start. And this is on a piece of 32 count cockatiel fabric from Paddock Lane Designs. This is from the Fabric of the Month Club in January this year. And this is what I will be starting. Spring Celtic Lady from Lavender and Lace. So really pretty, this one. Love the purples. Hoping it sits well on this fabric. So there's a bit of yellow in there, but this fabric is like a grey and just a really light yellowish green. So like the colours of a cockatiel, I guess. So yeah, hopefully this one will see at least 200 stitches in tonight. We'll see how we go. So they are all my new starts. Well, besides that last one, for May. And now I'll just go through my little tiny bit of haul. So I got in my Fabric of the Month Club from Paddock Lane Designs for May. And it's called Kookaburra Egg. This is a 32 count linen. And it's a really, really soft pale pink. I haven't paired anything up with this yet. Normally when I get fabric in, I'll match it up with something. But I haven't done that yet. It's got a very slight mottling in it of a... It's like a yellow, beige, more a yellow, really, colour. I've never seen a kookaburra egg. I don't know what colour they are. But this is pretty. I'm sure I have something that can go on this. Maybe a fancy lady or something. You know, it would look nice. One of my, what are they called? Bella Filipina. The Mad Hatter one. Alice in Wonderland. And have you seen the latest one? Cinderella. Glass Slippers it's called. Yeah, gonna get that because that is gorgeous. So maybe my Alice in Wonderland will fit on that. I will check that out. But that came in yesterday, this morning, something like that. And then on a D-Stash group, I picked up these patterns. So I have nothing Teresa Kogut, and I've always liked some of her stuff. So this was on one of the D-Stash groups. So going to stitch this, and this is going to be a mother-daughter piece because my daughter bought me this beautiful necklace for Mother's Day, and it was a matching pair. So they were both, she got one, I got one. It came in a gift set of the 2 matching necklaces. And it's this gorgeous little star on this delicate little chain, and the saying that came with it was absolutely stunning. So that really touched my heart, and I put it on and it's not coming off. It's absolutely gorgeous necklace. So when I saw this, I thought, yes, I'm going to do this in honor of my daughter. So it's going to be a mother-daughter stitch. Then I saw this one, Elizabeth Furness, 1836, by Hands Across the Sea. This one I wasn't sure about because I didn't really like this bit down here, but I love the border. And any sampler that has a beautiful border, I'm a sucker. Gotta have it. So I thought, well, why not add that to my stash? Because one chart can't travel alone. These are all from the same seller. So you can't just buy one chart, you know. It has to be worthwhile in postage. And then this one as well from the same seller. Fox and Rabbit, Anne Harper, 1839. And again, the border is pretty cool. So, yeah. That is my haul. I don't think I have anything else coming. I've nearly bought a few things. There's a Wizard of Oz tree by Tiny Madness, I think it is, that I have seen that I want to get, but because I'm a mad Wizard of Oz fan. And who showed that? Oh, Don't Run With Scissors, Kelly showed that on her latest Flosstube, and I love it. So was it her that showed it? Might have been. Yeah, so yeah, I have to get that one day, but not now. Alright, so that's it. That's my Maynia Madness video. I'll probably be back at the end of the month with the rest of my new starts for May. And yeah, we'll see if I actually get to the 31 new starts for May. Thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, hit the thumbs up, please. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notify bell so you know when my next video comes up. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and happy stitching. Bye bye.